Hello and welcome to the introduction of the first season of my podcast, Perspectives. Before I start telling you what the season is going to be about, let me tell you why I am starting this podcast in general and what this podcast is going to be like. I'm starting this podcast because I'm very focused on my self-development, and I noticed that a lot of men my age are as well. For me, in my self-development journey, it helps me a lot to travel, to see different people, different cultures, and to get out of my bubble and get my own view of the world, instead of just thinking inside of a bubble where I was born. And to get even more outside of my bubble whilst traveling, I like to speak to locals about specific topics to see what their culture is like and how they see the world. And with this podcast, I want to give you the opportunity to listen to all different perspectives from different cultures and men of different backgrounds on topics concerning self-development, so that you, without traveling the world, can get out of your bubble and listen to the different views and cultures that there are. In the whole podcast, I'm not going to involve my own opinion into it. I'm not going to place one person as wrong or bad, or one culture view of wrong or bad. I'm just going to go in it completely blank without giving my own opinions to get a raw view of what it is like. I will separate it into several seasons. For example, the first season is going to be about manhood and what it means to be a man and the roles of men in society. The second season is going to be about money, then about friendships, relationships, work-life balance, all those types of different things. Basically everything that can concern your self-development. Each season will consist of 4 episodes, and every episode will be with someone who has a completely different view of the topic or is of a completely different background. The first season, for example, I will speak to someone from Ghana, to someone from the Netherlands, Morocco, Spain, and I will all speak to them on the same topic and go into the same questions of what it means to be a man and the role of men and women in society. So that's what this podcast is going to be about. Now let me introduce you to the first season and the first topic, manhood. So I came up with the idea to do the first topic as manhood whilst I was traveling through Ghana. I noticed that there is a big difference there in the role of men and women in society, whilst in the Netherlands, where I'm from, this is not such a big deal anymore, and it's really pushed for equality in everything. I saw this difference because the jobs that men and women do are radically different in Ghana. And I also heard a lot of stories that it's completely normal for men to have kids with a woman, then leave the family, go work in some other place, send them money, have another wife there, and just live a completely different life of how we live it here in the Netherlands, and also see the roles of men and women so different. I also noticed this in some strange encounters with other guys, because I was traveling with my little sister, who's 18 years old, and guys would ask me, can I have her? And that to me was super strange, because here in the Netherlands, to ask me in the most normal way if you can have my sister is completely inappropriate, of course. But there it was normal. But it also showed in other ways. For example, that it's normal for men to be the provider of the family, the financial provider and the protector of the family, whilst women were the ones taking care of the children. That was even more obvious in the very rural communities, in a village where they were so surprised to even see white people. They had probably never seen white people before, and we arrived there with a car, which was super crazy because they only lived off farming. And there it was even more obvious that men were the ones working on the field providing the food, and women were the ones taking care of the children. So to me it was interesting to see that the less developed the society was, the more the gender roles would show. And for example, in Europe, I feel that those gender roles can even be seen as bad, and there should be no role difference at all between a man and a woman. So that's why I thought it was super interesting to speak in this topic with multiple different backgrounds. The first episode is with a guy from Ghana. The second episode I will speak to someone in the Netherlands, then someone in Morocco, and then someone in Spain. So a lot of different cultures in the mix here. I'm really curious what this will bring, and I hope you will be following along with me. So it will be each 2 weeks, 1 episode. The first episode of the guy in Ghana is already live, and at the end of the 4 episodes, I will also give 1 episode where I reflect on what I have seen, what I have learned, and my personal insight from it. So I hope you will enjoy it. Let me know your feedback if you have any, and go listen to the first episode now, where I speak to a 24-year-old man in Ghana about manhood and what it means to be a man.